Live from WBFF in Baltimore, this is Fox 45 Morning News.
Good morning to you. It is 10:30 here on your Sunday, March 19th. It's a great day to be here. Thanks for being with us. I'm Taylor Stewart. Let's get right on over to your forecast because that is gorgeous out there, Jasmine, but it's cold.
Yeah, that's right. We've got a nice and sunny start to the day, but a very cold start. So yes, it does look gorgeous outside, but it's cold. It's a little breezy. You can actually see our camera over Towson shaking just a little bit. Temperatures sit at 31. Winds are out of the west-northwest around 15 miles per hour. Wind gusts are higher. And with that factored in, with our winds factored in, it only feels like it's 20 degrees. Across the state, our wind chills are in the 20s and in the 30s in some areas. Then in Oakland, Maryland, it feels like it's 1 degree. So very cold for much of us. And as we head into the afternoon, the wind chill will be a factor as we deal with gusty winds. Temperatures will reach the mid-40s, keeping us below average, so you will want the layers. Then tomorrow marks the start of spring, and it's going to feel like spring. We're talking temperatures in the mid-50s, but it gets even warmer after that. We're talking the low 60s on Tuesday with plenty of sunshine. I'll let you know how long the warm trend lasts and when to expect the next weather maker coming up in my Weather Authority forecast. Back to you.
All right, we begin in a city in crisis. Baltimore City firefighters battled a blaze in East Baltimore. It happened on Lakewood Avenue just before 2 this morning. The first firefighter on the scene could see flames coming from the building, and thankfully they were able to jump in quick, but it quickly spread to the neighboring buildings because of wind. According to the fire department, a second alarm was called to bring more resources to the scene. The cause of the fire is under investigation. That East Baltimore fire comes almost 24 hours after a fire broke out inside of a home in West Baltimore. And despite quick actions from firefighters, their 3 young children trapped inside did not survive. It's been an unimaginable loss for this community.
There's nothing we can do, to soothe this pain, but to be there for them, to be present with them.
Now, firefighters rushed to that West Baltimore home. They arrived within 3 minutes of the call. It was already too late. Vincent Hill breaks down those harrowing moments and shares the mayor's plea to the community.
Just after 2:30 Saturday morning in West Baltimore.
Truck 18, I'm on the thing, 2-story brick, middle of the roof. I got fire showing second floor.
That fire, leaving no room or time for escape for those inside.
For the people trapped at 238.
Fire crews searching the home to find a life or death situation.
Second floor.
But not just one juvenile, multiple people trapped on the second floor.
We're bringing out a third basis.
3 kids, 2 adults rushed to the hospital. The Baltimore fire chief sharing the children's tragic fate.
Unfortunately, we had 3 young occupants that passed away this morning.
As family members pick up the pieces of what's left from the devastation.
My heart goes out to this entire family.
Faith leaders like Pastor J. Kevin James showing his support and heartbreak.
There's nothing we can do, to soothe this pain, but to be there for them, to be present with them.
Mayor Brandon Scott weighing in on the tragedy.
No parent, no community, no mother, no grandmother, no uncle, no cousin, no father should have to experience this.
This after a rash of deadly fires in Baltimore. Thursday, 1 man died in a row home fire in North Baltimore. Last month, 1 person died in a row home fire in East Baltimore. The mayor making a desperate plea.
We are begging people to make sure that you have a fire safety plan and do everything that you can to try to prevent a tragedy like this one that happened here in this community.
Now, at last check, the adults in this fire, they were in critical condition, and investigators have yet to release the names and the images of those young children. Fire marshals are taking over this investigation. Meanwhile, firefighters today are going to go door to door to check on smoke detectors. We remind you here they're free. Call 311 and you can get one. Baltimore police are also reporting 3 separate shootings that took place in a span of just 3 hours on Saturday. The first happening in southeast Baltimore, where a 49-year-old man was shot. Then in northeast Baltimore, another man was hit by a stray bullet. And then around noon, a 23-year-old also at the receiving end of gunfire in northeast Baltimore. They all survived. At least 99 people have survived shootings this year alone. 53 have not. That's the number of people who've been murdered this year in Baltimore, which is actually down this year compared to last. But we are seeing a rise in the number of young people embroiled in gun violence and falling victim to senseless shootings. Just this week, 2 city school students were shot, one of them killed.
Bullets have no names on them. Wake up, young folks, wake up. People, please know what your children are doing. Find out if they got guns. Talk to your children. I'm tired of seeing kids dying on the streets of Baltimore.
This year, Baltimore began expanding the GVRS program. It's a violence intervention strategy from West Baltimore to South Baltimore. That's where the pilot program took place. It operates like a diversion program, identifying people who may commit crimes and providing them an alternative. Late last week, the mayor announced the violence intervention program to take place inside of city schools. 3 schools will initiate the pilot program with the goal of offering students and families wraparound services to deter crime. The federal government also joining in on Baltimore's fight against crime. Maryland's U.S. Attorney Eric Barron has invoked the Al Capone model of prosecution. Prosecutors are using any means to go after repeat offenders. Meanwhile, Congressman Kwasi Mfume introduced legislation hoping to get witnesses to come forward and help solve lingering cases. It's the Witness Security and Protection Grant Program Act. He says the policy would increase funding to witness protection efforts. Law enforcement experts say the incentives are a good start, but safety is the biggest concern when it comes to stop snitching culture.
Eyewitnesses are very, very important to a lot of cases. We don't always have the DNA. We don't always have the physical evidence. We don't always have a camera.
The Enhanced Witness Protection Program would include cases of homicide, serious drug offenses, and gang-related crimes. What is not clear, though, is how long this protection would last and what happens after a person testifies. Time is ticking for lawmakers in Annapolis to act on legislation. Now, Monday, tomorrow, it's crossover day. And right now, Democrats are pushing for more wraparound services in an attempt to prevent anyone younger than 25 from being charged with felony murder. There have also been talks to make changes to recent laws that prevent kids 13 years old or younger from being charged with a crime at all.
So they cannot enter into an entire life of criminality, and they can understand the consequences for their actions.
But is that happening right now with that law?
So I can't say, because it only came into place recently, right? So, I mean, I think the hope is that over time it's going to be better.
Republicans, meanwhile, are pushing for a crackdown, and they're backing the Violent Firearms Offender Act to implement tougher penalties for repeat gun offenders. That plan, though, is not likely to pass.
Not only have we not addressed crime, but we've actually taken steps in the opposite way.
What pieces of legislation do you think should be passed in these final weeks that could address the growing trend of young people addressing their conflicts using handguns?
Depends on who the shooters are. I think there's a function where some of those repeat violent career offenders keep popping up because of the prior policies of the city state's attorney.
We really want you guys to join in on this conversation. Are elected leaders taking the crime crisis seriously enough? So far, 99% of voters say no. Go to foxbaltimore.com/vote to weigh in.
Some big companies making changes due to high inflation that could hurt your bottom line. I'm Atrell Nashar with what those are coming up.
And for the last day of winter, we have below average temperatures in store for the afternoon. But tomorrow and the day following, we're looking at rising temperatures for spring. I'll let you know how long the warming trend lasts and when we have our next weather maker coming up in my full forecast.
All right, this week we learned consumer inflation fell to 6% in February, but prices, man, they're still too high for comfort. From Google to Dollar Tree, more big companies say it's pushing them to make some tough calls. National correspondent Andre Allen-Shar takes a look at the impact on your money.
Nearly 2 years of extremely high inflation, and many businesses are still struggling to keep up. YouTube TV announcing their monthly subscription price will go up 12%. Its parent company Google says the decision came from the rising cost of content. Amazon rolling out new delivery fees for grocery orders. And speaking of groceries, the cost of eggs, too much for Dollar Tree to bear. The discount store will stop selling them for now and reevaluate later this year. Farmers are among the hardest hit, dealing with a historic bird flu and soaring costs for operating essentials like fertilizer and feed.
Seems like every time I go in, in the last couple of years, we're up $3-4 a bag.
High grocery costs across the board have some turning to food banks, like this one in Tulsa.
Just over the last couple of years since the pandemic, we've had over a 300% increase in our grocery pantry users.
February's Consumer Price Index, released this week, found the vast majority of monthly inflation came from shelter costs. But a sign for potential relief came Friday. Redfin reporting the U.S. median home price fell 1.2%, marking the first annual decline since 2012.
Sellers having to lower expectations as higher mortgage rates keep buyers on the sidelines. Rates set to stay elevated as the Federal Reserve fights to bring inflation down to their target rate of 2%. But after turmoil in the banking sector, it's more likely they'll decide on a smaller interest rate hike when they meet next week. Some speculate they'll skip one altogether. Both options risk drawing out the time it takes to stabilize prices. In Washington, I'm Andre Allen-Shar reporting.
A popular powdered infant formula is getting recalled. After the break, why the company's yanking it off of store shelves.
A shortage of pediatric beds at hospitals nationwide. What experts say is driving the trend and how they say it could impact your child's care.
In your health headlines, a critical shortage at our nation's hospitals.
Dr. David Vequist says that shortage of pediatricians is hitting rural areas hard, where families are having to travel for care. As the country deals with staffing shortages in healthcare, he says young people dealing with mental health problems are facing another challenge.
Those beds needed for those young people that are having mental health issues, they have not increased at all.
The thought of not having that, or even going there and making sure there's no room for you, is really scary.
According to the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, per person personal health care spending for the 65 and older age group was more than 5 times higher than the spending per child in 2014. Reporting for the National Desk, I'm Dee Dee Gatton.
All right, the maker of popular powdered infant formula is recalling one of its products. Now, they make Gerber Food Start infant formula. This is their company that's recalling the Gerber Good Start Soothe Pro Powder infant formula. So it's got bacteria contamination, according to the company. It was made between January 2nd and January 18th of this year. If you have the product, you should toss it out. And the company says they can provide a full refund. Some frozen food products have been recalled over hepatitis A contamination. The FDA says the company has recalled frozen organic strawberries and topical fruit blend packages. Now, the tropical blends were sold at Trader Joe's nationwide. Outlets such as Costco, Aldi, Vital Choice Seafood, and more retailed those strawberries in 19 states. So far, no hepatitis A has been detected in those products, though it is recommended for consumers to return it for a full refund or just get rid of it. All right, trending now, a little over 25 years since the original beloved Nickelodeon film is set for a sequel. Variety reports Good Burger 2 is going to begin production in May with a planned release on the streaming platform Paramount, plus later this year. In a statement, when one of the original stars, Kenan Thompson, calls working on the sequel surreal. Good Burger began as a sketch on Nickelodeon series before it spun off into a film in 1997. It found box office success and quickly became a fan favorite. And here at home, a fan favorite are oysters roasting and socks burning. We'll take you to Annapolis, and it's loud and clear there. Spring is right around the corner. Photojournalist Casey Fair has the sights and sounds.
Is the first of the season at the spring equinox.
We heard about this, and we live in upstate New York.
It's a unique Annapolis tradition.
And we decided to do it. It's welcoming spring.
Getting outdoors and eating oysters.
A rightful tradition to burn all our socks.
Are y'all ready to burn some socks? Now people call us and say, when's sock burning?
It's spring and summer boating season. You do not wear socks with your boating shoes.
Socks! Who needs those things? You gotta make sacrifices to get springing.
So pull up those pant legs. Take off your shoes.
A lot of men are whiny about taking their socks off. Then what do I put my feet in and my shoes? It's like, oh boy.
Pull off those socks. Break out the bruise.
I'll have a Bloody Mary.
Right. Things like this where we can come and eat bay oysters.
Shuck them, clean them, suck them.
People can enjoy them together. I think that's really awesome, and it's really important to keep oysters relevant.
I like to roll with a little bit of cocktail sauce.
Shuck responsibly.
Yeah. Burn your socks, my friend. The winter is done.
Winter is over, and it's like, yay!
It's time for boating, crabbing, and fun.
If you can't burn your socks, you can't come.
Gosh, all right. Let's get over to Jasmine Lomax, our meteorologist, who's going to tell us hopefully about spring and how it's making its entrance a day early.
No, not quite. I know we're all hoping for those warmer temperatures, and we are going to get them, just not today. It's going to feel like winter for this final day of winter. 31 for the current temperature, and it's breezy. Winds are out of the west-northwest around 15 miles per hour. That's giving us a wind chill of just 20 degrees, but at least it's beautiful in the background over Baltimore. We have plenty of sunshine. Around the state, nice and sunny skies, but temperatures are in the 20s and the 30s. We're slowly starting to see these numbers rise, and by the afternoon, we are looking at cooler temperatures. Compared to just 24 hours ago, we are about 10, 15 degrees cooler in many locations. So you'll notice that change as you step outside. And then by the afternoon, we have those cooler numbers compared to what we've had for the past few days, the 50s and the 60s. We're only looking at the low to mid 40s. that's below average, and so it will feel like winter today. As we head into the afternoon, we'll have plenty of sunshine. Then overnight, clouds clear. We're talking a cold start to the morning, 20s once again for Monday, but we'll have lots of sunshine throughout the day. Into the afternoon, high pressure moves in the region. That will keep us dry, giving us the sunshine. We'll stay dry once again on Tuesday, but after that, our next weather maker arrives. We'll have more clouds moving in overnight. And then as we head into the afternoon, we have the chance for a few showers with rain overnight and possibly into very early Thursday morning. We enter an unsettled pattern starting on Wednesday. Our rain chances slightly drop on Thursday, then they pick back up on Friday. That will be the chance for scattered showers, followed by more rain on Saturday. If you have weekend plans, make sure that you're following along with the forecast for any changes. We will rise to about 44 this afternoon. We'll have plenty of sunshine, which is the good news, but it is going to be cool and breezy. Wind gusts could exceed 25 miles per hour, and with that, we're talking wind chills in the 30s. Now, tomorrow marks the start of spring, and our average temperature for the first day is around 56 degrees, and our temperatures gradually rise to the 80s by the end of spring on June 20th. The good news is that as we start spring, it's going to feel that way. 55 on Monday with plenty of sunshine. Then on Tuesday, we're in for a nice warm up as our high temperatures reach the 60s. We'll be in the 60s on Wednesday with a chance for a few spotty showers. Then we jump to the 70s, making it feel more like May on Thursday and again on Friday. Friday brings that chance for scattered showers. It'll be followed by more rain on Saturday. High temperatures will reach the low 60s. Taylor?
All right, and let's take a look at your weather photos. This gorgeous shot is from Doreen. She captured the sunset over Marley Creek and Glen Burnie. I mean, just peaceful, majestic there. Thanks, Doreen. And your next picture could be here on air with you or outside taking a walk or with your family or celebrating something. Go ahead and send it to us at FOX45 News. Just go to foxbaltimore.com/chime-in. You can also send it through the Chime In page on that free WBFF app. Yep, the final weekend of winter. It is here. Jasmine Lomax will be right over here at the desk and join us with her 7-day forecast and a little spring trivia after the break. You're watching Fox 45 Morning News, all local, all morning.
It is nice and sunny this morning, a great view over Baltimore, but it is very cold. You want all of the layers as you head outside. We're starting off in the 30s with wind chills in the 20s. As we head into the afternoon, our temperatures reach the mid-40s. It's below average for this time of year, but we'll stay nice and sunny. Then for Monday, the start of spring. We'll have plenty of sunshine and high temperatures in the mid-50s, right where they should be. A warm-up starts after that. 63 on Tuesday, 62 on Wednesday with a chance for a few spotty showers. 70s on Thursday and Friday. Rain on Friday, a few showers on Saturday, and then temperatures in the 50s and 60s to follow.
Okay, real quickly, what iconic spring tradition do people travel all over from in our backyard to come see?
Oh, is that the Cherry Blossom Festival?
You're just on it. I didn't even tell you that before. Go ahead. All right. Have a great Sunday. Enjoy your final day of winter. We'll be back here at 10 o'clock tonight.